I mean,
In the electric haze of a packed Paris arena, where the air crackles with raw national pride, Tom Aspinall steps to the microphone, ready to defend his crown. But before a single word escapes his lips, the crowd unleashes a torrent of boos that drowns out everything. The Englishman, usually met with chants of adoration back home, pauses, his eyes scanning the sea of hostile faces. I mean, there was nobody else to fight, he starts, but the jeers swell like a storm, forcing him to yield. Ciryl, you just do your thing. I'll just chill. It's a moment that captures the brutal theater of mixed martial arts, where heroes become villains in the blink of an eye, and the fight begins long before the cage door closes. This isn't just a press conference. It's a preview of the war brewing between two of the most athletic heavyweights the UFC has ever seen, set to collide in Abu Dhabi on October 25th for the undisputed heavyweight title. Aspinall, the 32-year-old from Manchester, has carved a path through the division like a force of nature, his rise marked by devastating finishes that leave opponents crumpled and crowds stunned. He entered the UFC in 2020 with a pedigree built on raw power and technical precision, a product of years grinding in England's MMA scene. His debut against Alan Baudot ended in under 2 minutes, a first-round TKO that announced his arrival. From there, it was a streak of dominance. Andrei Arlovski tapped to a rear-naked choke, Alexander Volkov submitted in the first, Marcin Tybura dispatched with elbows. Aspinall's style is a blend of explosive striking and elite grappling, his 6-foot, 5-frame moving with a speed that defies heavyweight norms. He's finished 12 of his 15 wins by knockout or TKO, boasting a 100% finish rate in the UFC until his only setback, a freak knee injury against Curtis Blaydes in 2022 that sidelined him for a year. But Aspinall returned with vengeance, starching Blaydes in a rematch at UFC 304, avenging that loss with a first-round knockout that echoed through the arena. Before that, he claimed the interim heavyweight title by flattening Sergei Pavlovich in just 69 seconds, a punch that sent shockwaves through the division. Fans still talk about that one, the way Pavlovich, a knockout artist himself, crumbled under Aspinall's precision. His record stands at 15-3, with an absurd 8.07 significant strikes per minute and 67% accuracy, numbers that paint a picture of a fighter who's not just winning, but dismantling. And now, elevated to undisputed champion in June after Jon Jones shocked the world by retiring rather than facing him, Aspinall sits atop a throne he's long deserved. Jones, the longtime king, had danced around the matchup for years, opting for legacy fights like his bout with Stipe Miocic, but age and injuries caught up, leaving Aspinall as the man. The heavyweight division has been a whirlwind of chaos in recent years, a saga of titans rising and falling that rivals any Hollywood epic. It started with Francis Ngannou's reign of terror, the Cameroonian powerhouse who escaped poverty to become the Predator King, knocking out Stipe Miocic in 2021 to claim the belt. Ngannou's power was legendary, his punches measured at record levels, but contractual disputes led to his exit, stripping him of the title in 2023. Enter Jon Jones, the light heavyweight GOAT, who moved up and submitted Ciryl Gane in just over 2 minutes at UFC 285 to win the vacant strap. Jones' dominance was surgical, exposing Gane's ground deficiencies in a way that still haunts the Frenchman. But Jones' tenure was plagued by inactivity, injuries, and that looming shadow of Aspinall, the interim champ calling him out relentlessly. Rankings shifted wildly. Blaydes climbed with wins over Jailton Almeida. Pavlovich surged on a knockout spree, only for Aspinall to reset the order. UFC matchmaking politics played a huge role here, a behind-the-scenes chess game where egos and marketability often trump merit. Aspinall had beaten 3 of the top 5, Volkov, Blaydes, Pavlovich, leaving slim pickings for his first defense. Volkov was in the mix after a controversial decision over Tai Tuivasa, but Aspinall had already submitted him years ago. Alexander Romanov and Marcos Rogerio de Lima were surging, but not title-ready. Enter Gane, the Parisian star with star power in Europe, fresh off wins that kept him relevant despite those high-profile losses. The UFC seized the moment during their Paris Fight Night card, promoting Gane in front of his adoring fans, turning the presser into a homecoming that backfired spectacularly for Aspinall. That booing wasn't just noise, it was the pulse of a city that's become Europe's MMA epicenter. Paris, with its vibrant fight culture, has hosted some of the most electric atmospheres in recent UFC history, crowds chanting through entire cards, turning arenas into cauldrons. Remember Gane's 2022 homecoming against Taito Vesa? The Accor Arena shook as Gane weathered early storms to finish with a knockout, the fans erupting like a volcano. Or the 2023 event, where Gane submitted Sergei Spivak, the cheers so loud they drowned out the commentary. French MMA fans are passionate, partisan, and unforgiving, especially when one of their own is involved. Social media lit up after the presser, with one ex-user posting, "France about to have an incredible run. Aspinall will submit Gane in the first round. France will wave the white flag again." Another countered, "Gane picks Aspinall apart," highlighting the divide. Fans are split, some seeing Aspinall's grappling as the key, others banking on Gane's striking wizardry. If you're hooked on these raw dives into the heart of MMA's biggest stories, hit that subscribe button now for more from MMA Arena, where we peel back the layers of the cage, the controversies, and the warriors who define this sport. Ciryl Gane, at 35, represents the new breed of heavyweight, a 6'5" athlete with Muay Thai roots, moving like a middleweight in a giant's body. His journey started late. He didn't enter MMA until 2018, after dominating in Muay Thai with an undefeated 13-0 record. Signed to the UFC after just 3 pro fights, Gane exploded onto the scene, submitting Rafael Pessoa in his debut, then outclassing veterans like Junior Dos Santos and Derek Lewis. His interim title win over Lewis in 2021 was a masterclass in distance management, a third-round TKO that crowned him the first French champion in UFC history. Gane's stats tell the tale: 5.26 significant strikes per minute at 61% accuracy, with a defense that sees him absorb only 2.23 per minute. He's finished 6 by TKO and 3 by submission, his footwork a ballet of evasion that frustrates power punchers. But cracks appeared in title fights. Against Ngannou at UFC 270 in 2022, Gane started strong, picking apart the champion on the feet, but Ngannou's wrestling, honed despite a torn knee, led to a unanimous decision loss. Then came Jones in 2023, where Gane was dominated on the ground, submitted in the first round after a takedown he couldn't defend. Critics hammered his grappling, calling it a glaring weakness. Yet Gane rebounded, knocking out Tuivasa in a war and submitting Spivak, showing improvements in his all-around game. He admits Aspinall is the man to beat, but insists, "He's never fought someone like me. I bring something different." Fans echo that. One tweet read, "Gane is more technical, but Tom is faster with more power. Plus, Gane fears the takedown." Tactically, this matchup is a dream for analysts, a clash of evolutions in the heavyweight game. Aspinall's knockout power is nuclear. He's landed 12 TKOs, often with crisp combinations that exploit openings. His ground game is elite, with 3 submissions, including that arm triangle on Volkov. Against Gane, Aspinall will look to close distance early, using feints to set up takedowns. He's drilled for Jones wrestling, so Gane's improved defense might not hold. If Aspinall lands clean, it's lights out. He boasts, "If I hit anybody, I can knock anybody out." Ciryl is no exception, but Gane's movement is his shield. His Muay Thai base allows him to circle, pepper with leg kicks, and counter from range. At the same height, their reach battles will be key. Gane's 81 inches versus Aspinall's 78. Gane could exploit Aspinall's aggression, drawing him into strikes while avoiding the clinch. Weaknesses loom. Gane's ground game, though bolstered, was exposed by Jones' guillotine. Aspinall notes, "There are some weaknesses in his ground game, but I'm sure he's improved." The significance runs deep. For Aspinall, a win solidifies his reign, proving he's no interim fluke but the division's future. He's beaten the contenders. This defense against a former interim champ quiets doubters. For Gane, 3rd time's the charm. Losses to Ngannou and Jones fuel his hunger. A victory in Abu Dhabi would make him France's first undisputed UFC champion, sparking an MMA boom back home. The division needs this. With Jones gone, Ngannou and PFL, Miocic retired. It's Aspinall's era, but Gane could upend it. Fan reactions pour in. 1x post. Aspinall got booed in Gane's home country. What a shocker. Another. Gane believes he brings something different to Tom Aspinall. Media buzzes too. ESPN called it the new age of heavyweights. Two giants moving like welterweights. The face-off was cordial. Handshakes, no shoves, but tension simmered. Aspinall was steered away from Gane's exit, avoiding any spark. Yet beneath the respect lies ferocity. Aspinall, familiar with cheers after his Jones saga, now faces a villain's role. Gane, criticized for ground lapses, seeks redemption. As the boos fade from Paris, the real storm builds in Abu Dhabi. Two heavyweights, both 6'5", redefining the division's athleticism. One will fall, the other etch their legacy. In the cage,